Hi everyone, I'm Bina Kavalam, career and life strategist for high-performing professionals on the rise. And I'm excited today to talk with you about getting those ideas that you have recognized. Now, how many of you have been in a meeting where you have this brilliant idea and it just comes to you, and then you verbally blurt out all the great ideas because you know that your boss is going to love it, and all you get in return is this kind of blank stare? And then maybe 3 minutes later, Gordon Gecko over there repeats exactly what you said. Pretty much your same idea, maybe tweaked a little bit differently, and his idea is the best idea since sliced bread. This used to happen to me all the time, and it drove me nuts because my ideas had value and I just had trouble communicating it. So I started to watch what other people were doing, and I started to think about what would work for me. And so I have crafted a really easy process. It's a really easy strategy for you to use, and it's just got 5 easy steps. So the first one you've already done, right, is you come up with that idea. The second idea is you have to think about, whoops, sorry about that. You got to come up with your first idea is to come up with the idea. The second part is to take a breath. Now the problem is that when we're thinking about these ideas, we're moving, our hands are flaring all over the place, as you can tell with me, and I tend to be a hand talker. But your hands are flaring, you're moving around, and the problem with all this is that you're not composed. Your mind is going a mile a minute, and the words are not coming because your mind is thinking about still formulating that idea. So you want to pause for a moment. You want to take a breath, and that's going to calm you down, because whenever we get these brilliant ideas, I know I do, I just start getting so much energy. Right? You want to pause for a moment, take a breath. So that's number 2. Get idea, then pause and take a breath. The third point, and this is the big one, is you want to jot some notes down. Now it's not as easy as just, okay, this is my idea and this is what I want to do. No, it's not as easy as that. I'm going to give you a couple of key questions that you're going to ask for yourself, and that'll be very helpful. The first thing is you want to outline in your notebook at your meeting, right? You want to outline in your notebook a very high-level outline to your idea. The first point is you want to have your idea at the top. So I'm going to give you an example from back when I was working in healthcare, and and you want to state your idea in about 10 words or less. Okay, so the idea that came to me in a meeting was offer an aspirin promotion during daylight savings time week. Okay, that was the idea that came to mind because I was working on the aspirin team and we were trying to sell more aspirin, right? So then you want to list supporting rationale. So in my case, my supporting rationale was trying to illustrate why this idea was relevant to the team's goals. So in my case, right, launch offer an aspirin promotion during daylight savings time week was relevant to my team because our goal was to sell more aspirin. And in particular, my goal was to sell more of 325 milligram aspirin, which is the aspirin that you need to save your life in a heart attack. And then there's an additional supporting list of data. Why is this different, this idea specific, different, and useful? Well, in my case, this is the tidbit that I had heard on NPR the week before, and it was more heart attacks occur during the weeks of daylight savings time than any other time during the year. So when you think about it, it kind of makes sense, this whole idea. Our goal is to sell more 325 milligram aspirin. And the idea here would offer a promotion during this week, letting people know the fact that more people die of heart attacks and a way during daylight savings time week. And the way to prevent those heart attacks is by taking a 325 milligram and putting it under your tongue. And just for all of you out there, that's a way to do it. Okay, so if you have any relatives, think of that as a free tip. Go out there and buy some Bear aspirin. Okay, it's my old brand. So the idea is that you are continually thinking out your idea on paper. And you're not just verbally talking about it, thinking about it out loud, and people are just, I don't know what to say. You're just thinking through your idea and it doesn't have a point. And a point that matters to them or to the topic at hand. Because everybody's trying to process your information and thinking, is this relevant to me? Should I care? So in this case, right, you always start off with your idea in 10 words or less, and then a few bullet points as to supporting data, why is this idea specific and useful, how is it relevant to the audience that I'm talking about, and does it meet those teams' goals, and any additional other relevant data. Okay? And, you know, so you've got your outline all done, it's great, it looks awesome, and this whole process takes about 1 to 2 minutes. You don't want to spend too much time on this. It's just a few words, no more than that. Okay? Then you want to take a breath again because you're excited because you've got this idea formulated. So take a breath again, and what's going to happen is you're going to calm down, and your voice is going to go from this high octave, oh my gosh, to a more confident and a lower state. It's a level of your voice that's going to be more powerful. So if you can speak from this voice, it sounds like you've got your act together, and you do. You have all of your stuff listed out. So by taking a breath and just rolling your shoulders back and speaking, you're going to have your best idea yet. And you'll be able to convince them that your idea matters, because it does. Your ideas totally matter. But you have to believe it, and you have to do just a little bit of prep work so that they believe it. Okay? Finally, you're going to speak. And you don't want to speak with these long sentences. Instead, use short, concise, and pointed sentences. What does that mean? You want to just have sentences that get right to the point. I believe we should launch a promotion during daylight savings time week to sell 325 milligram aspirin. Because more heart attacks occur during that week or those weeks than any other time of the year. And if we make people aware of it, they will buy more aspirin. Great idea. Like it. Simple, easy, to the point. That's how you want to communicate. All right. Some other tips that'll help you communicate in a couple of other ways is when you are presenting your idea and you're presenting it to the team and it's building off of someone else's idea. You always want to give credit. You get better karma points, and also your boss recognizes that you're not afraid, you're not an ego. You don't have that ego where you have to take all the credit hog, right? You are someone who can share the credit and share ideas. So it puts you in a good light, and you get bonus karma points as well. Okay? So always how you do that is, to building off Jenny's idea, I believe, building off Jenny's idea for 81 milligram, I think we should do something for 325. Here's what I think, what I propose. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? The other key thing to speak with confidence is you always want to plant your feet. So you want to how to plant your feet, and I'm kind of short, so my feet don't touch the ground. But what I do is I sit at the very edge of my seat, scooch up just a little bit, so my my legs are kind of hanging down, and I can plant my feet. When you plant your feet, you automatically have a steadier pose and steadier gait, and your body can now speak with more confidence. Okay, so my feet are planted, and I'm able to speak from my tone of voice changes because I'm able to get more air in, and I'm able to speak with more confidence. So very important. You also want to kind of just roll your shoulders back. So when you roll your shoulders back, your whole chest opens and you get more air in and you can speak more clearly. And finally, your boss, when your boss recognizes your brilliance, you're going to have some extra work to do. So there are going to be some follow-ups coming from the meeting. You know, oh, investigate that or find out if it's feasible. You always want to act quickly, with quality, and you want to make sure you circle back with your boss. All right, so those have been your tips for the day to really help you understand how to communicate your ideas in an effective way. And stop getting those ideas swiped. You bring brilliance, and make sure everybody knows it. All right, thanks everyone. And if you liked this video, please share it. You know, there's a whole bunch of great videos and goodness on my YouTube channel, but only if you share it and people find out about it. Okay, so please do, and thanks again, everyone.